There's Edgar and Umpty themselves.
Yep. Just over here to our left, as of course, the global broadcast is on the bro side, as Umpty, humble as always, making sure that Edgar does get the cheers.
And you know he's just waiting to avoid the engage and then clean up the fight. It's happened so many times this season. As there's the Palu Rakan. Was not banned. They weren't going to take it away with the Lucian pick, so the Rakan feels great here with their comp, but also gives you the sustain to trade with the Lucian in the 2v2 lane.
Yep. I actually feel like the lane is going to be quite okay for the bros.
Feels good for them, and all of this comp for bro is don't fall behind early, team fight at every opportunity, and always hold control of the dragons and try to take fights using the dragon to pull DRX in. For DRX, they have a side lane threat in this Gwen, so if you're not in control of the dragon and the Gwen is side laning and Teddy's chilling and pushing mid waves, then you're not winning the game.
Morgan did go with the Ambessa as the response this time, but they're going to have to put their money where their mouth is on the Rift. Let's get into it. Right, you know, just win. That's what you have to do.
And that's what's also the win con for both you and I for our predictions. Because
exactly, that's what we have to get into next.
Rotation from Croco here.
Yep, there's a public execution here onto Rich as well. He does have the needlework available. Morgan does avoid the first salvo. The next one went wide. But Croco not going to quite find the flag and drag he was looking for.
Croco is not here. He's rotating over slowly now, and Sponge is kind of getting away with this. He has control vision on this.
Yep, they have a lot of control, in fact, of the area, but Croco just wanders on in. And it will be Sponge that does smite away one of these grubs. Won't have that available for the next one, though, as Croco will be able to secure that, and then just runs away. So Sponge coming back in, should be able to lock in the last one.
Some of the timid play we're seeing is really personifies the stakes here, as Rich is going to ult.
Yeah, doesn't quite find too many of these needles, but does land 2 of them. And there's the public execution. Let's see what Morgan can do, but immediately disengages with that last dash.
See, no tempo vibes.
Absolutely none.
It's actually the first time, I think.
Or maybe
I can't sense them.
It's not even that. It's just that they are so in sync. You know? They're like exactly the same rhythm. You can't, oh, well, there's a flash in from Morgan, looking for the solo bolo, and there it is! There's your tempo vibes!
All right, Morgan got it done, first blood. Wait.
And yeah, who's going to deny 50 gold this time around? The bro's going to take a late dragon here.
So it's a long con play from Croco, but this is going to work out,
He is being very patient as they just wait for him to put down the circle. More needlework is in there, and there is the Grand Starfall as well. Cataclysm comes down, and Morgan just dies! Croco going to have to drag the flag out of there.
Now they know that Closure doesn't have TP. I suppose they can just go for this. Charged up.
Yeah, it's going to interrupt the back there for Morgan. Does give him information.
Now they get the next wave.
There is a Sponge in the area. Yeah. This one's moving forward. There's the public execution. Let's see whether Morgan can survive. He flashes, but he gets stunned up, and the quickness comes in! And Morgan will survive! The shockwave is there! And the bros answer back!
For DRX, you're hoping
if that doesn't happen, if that doesn't happen, then they could be fighting just for a really long time. Rift Herald is just going to be taken here by DRX.
They're going to get that charge here in the mid lane and look for the turret take, and they will get it. So I think DRX in a pretty nice position right now. Sure, the gold is basically still dead even in the game. DRX feeling comfortable right now as Yeho for the flash.
Yep, flash bear is going to come on in. There is the stun as in goes Palu yet again and finds the quickness to save his mid laner. This guy is actually just an ambulance, man. This is like a hyper-speed paramedic that's just getting around. Nice double knock-up here as make it a triple. I guess a quadra. As now Hype making his way forward. Finds a lot of damage onto Yahoo. Yeah, there's no saving him this time around. Another knock-up comes through as Croco continuing the aggression. Hype, what was that flash? That was absolute insanity. But it might actually work out here as the culling is not going to land. The flag drops. And so does the Braum.
And DRX, again, full control over this objective. Flanks could be a problem.
Yeah, Croco on a great angle here. Andil puts up the door. They can wait for that one to wear off, though, as he puts them in the Cataclysm and leaves them there. Let's see whether this is actually going to work out, though, as Hype is free hitting. And there's a public execution, the Shockwave, the Ambessa Oriana combo. That is so sick from the bros, as Yahoo's going to go down. That's a triple for the Corki. And that's what he was doing when he was flashing into melee range. He was sending a message that he's going to pop off this game. 5-0-2 on the Corki.
Yeah, this game could get crazy real quick.
But we do know that Bro have the tempo vibes. That is absolutely true. Polu going to get stunned up here as the culling going to come on through. The battle dance gets Polu well and truly out of there, though, as teleport comes in, and I'm not sure whether that's where Yehu wants to be. He brought his bear, but his bear is just going to die in hype. Stands his ground, still 1,000 gold. Goes over to the Pantheon, but Teddy is too far up, and so is Rich. And Morgan just puts him in the ground because public execution immediately gets laid in on top, and you get that little grin from Morgan.
That's really not.
That's a cost of something that just happened there. There's a beautiful knockup from Polu. Puts him in the Cataclysm yet again as Croco as Sponge is just dead. And now Flag and Drag gets Croco towards Yehu. Will get knocked up by that grand entrance from Polu, and now he's slowed down and has nowhere to go. High Valkyrie's in, takes down the Annie. And man, this is just business as usual for the Bros as they are dominating in this game. I don't think that it correlates very much. But the flag comes in, spots out Sponge. This is for Ocean Soul. As Rich, the first one to dive in, the Grand Starfall comes down, but Croco says, that's my dragon. Polu is just going to quickness them all up, and Croco going to be able to put Rich into the Cataclysm, finds the flag and dragon. Morgan gets the follow-up. They take down the Braum. Teddy is still standing, but he's in melee range with an Ambessa, who just dashes forward, takes him down, and it is destruction here. A clean ace and the Ocean Soul here for the Bros.
Just watching the Nexus explode is all that DRX can do now.
Yeah, the Bros really making short work of them. Things were close until they absolutely were not. As there's the last-ditch effort here for DRX, but it is not going to be enough. The Nexus turret's the first to fall as Sponge's health bar just evaporates. He has to limp his way out of there. Rich not going to be so lucky as Teddy gets hit by one attack dissonance and just dies pretty much. The Nexus is going to follow suit, worth the same as a Tibbers, as we know. And the Bros get themselves up 1-0 in this series. We do really need Gorilla to come back and play one game.
One more game.
Because it really is bothersome. Isn't this damage graph like kind of exactly the same as what we saw in the KT series as well?
It's very similar. It's a thing.
Yeah.
E2 as well. At level 6.
It is a bit of a scary one to play Zeri into, though, right? Like, you're looking at Heroic Entrance, Emperor's Divide, even the Crescent Guard is going to mean that, like, if you're trying to, like, dive in, you can get that completely negated.
There's a lot of ifs to catching this Zeri, though. I like the Zeri because of the power in the 2v2 lane. There's the level 6 all-in. There's also the fact that, like, all those different ways to catch Zeri means that, you know, she has to be kind of out of position and is not cleaning up the fight. And there's so many ways to go in and set up tons of damage with the Equalizer, and then Zeri just cleans up the rest of the fight. That I really like this for hype here.
Do you trust the Bros to give us 3 games? Because that's what true generosity looks like. Let's see whether they can give us that.
Yeah, a little Gangplank vibe. TF absolutely not, though.
No, okay. There was only a few moments that we had TF top being a thing.
It's one of the best shows I've seen in a while. I really enjoyed it.
Oh man, okay.
And it's all it got. And it's all it got all the memes. So you got to stay up to date on the memes, and it's all in there.
That is actually very important. I need to do that. I'm not very good at staying up to date on the memes.
This is a very slow Bro and Brew game, isn't it?
Yeah,
Dragon did go over.
We've been talking about absolutely nothing to do with the game for quite some time. As the hook is going to come through from Polu, asking you shall almost receive. As Rich is just wandering around.
I kind of feel like in the Brew style of game, it insanely favors DRX's comp.
Now, DRX are able to take 2 of the grubs away, as now Closer pops the ulti, is going to look for a reset here as Andal going down low, but Closer can't quite find that one. Nice charm, connects onto Sponge as the Solar Flare comes on through, but Croco, he's going to be the first to go down, and it's Teddy that locks in the kill. Now Hype is looking to punish him. Extendo Beam not going to connect. There's a Heroic Entrance as Hype just goes bananas and dies. And that is a great team fight for DRX after they are able to lock down all 3 grubs.
By the way, that kill will be the 25th hundredth, or 2500th, 25th hundred.
And in fact, 2501.
Yeah, and actually
as it turns out. As Wadid is pretty psyched about this. Wanted to come towards his top side and take down Rich. No flash available. Cease and desist is going to be there and will be used to try and get rid of him. And yeah, Rich has no options. He's just really
dead. To dive Rich again, but he has flashback. I don't think they should. It's a race for first turret, by the way, that DRX are going to win.
Yep, they also then managed to secure feats of strength.
Yeah,
so
and it
going down.
denies closer some farm as well. And they can actually slow play this. They should not fight now. Just double dragon into Hex Tech with the Sivir comp. That slows this area down. DRX I think they're onto something in this one, Atlas. They're going to get this Herald for free, surely.
Well,
surely.
Croco is Hex Gating. So they're not going to be getting this Rift Herald, but can there be a team fight found here for the Bros as Croco gets in behind? Morgan going to be the first to go down, though, and he doesn't really get to do anything at all. Voltbreaker gets Croco kind of out of there, but Sponge is there to finish him off.
All right.
Man, the generosity of the Bros continues as it's looking like they are providing us with a Game 3.
That's right. Pred Dream alive.
Oh, yeah. As all right, the Rift Herald is going to charge on in. Closer does get knocked up momentarily, but it looks like the turret will stay alive. Rich is just going to be able to find him here. Needs to Volt Break to get himself back into the fog of war.
And they just burst this dragon down.
All right, Croco gets into the back of the pit here. Let's see whether the Bros can actually coordinate as Sponge finding him. And now the burst could come in, but they're holding on to the dragon. Will we see an equalizer? Yes, we will. This time it's doing a lot of damage. Teddy just walks forward, though. The heroic entrance to come on down. The knock-up connects as they're looking to burst the Drake, and there is the soul point, as now the Bros need to try and find an angle. A big taunt from Rich, but now Hype, can he actually find it? Flashes out of the Emperor's Divide, but unfortunately, you cannot flash the Beyblades, as Teddy just raises him up, as Morgan is going to be taken down here as well. And raises him up. Not like, that's not lifting him up, it's like hitting him with raises.
Yeah.
That's what I meant, but it didn't really
He got raised.
very well. As Rich is going to throw buckets at Morgan eventually. And there is the last kill. It is going to be the turret taken down there as well by Teddy. Maybe more nervous.
I'm a little
Morgan
nervous.
has the equalizer. He can stop the retreat as Polo just throws an anchor to Nani as Closer gets closed in on him. Will get taken out. The Vi is dead as well, and Hype thrown into the meat grinder. And down he will go. And yeah, the nerves not quite there anymore, as DRX have only lost one throughout this entire game. And it was a Rich who did not care about it at all.
No. Okay, one more fight for Bro. Good luck.
This is Sivir. So they do have to try and contest this. Let's see whether Croco can steal it away. They can see the health bar. And the equalizer goes down as it's a steal. Okay, there's something for Croco. Andil going to be taken down low. The heroic entrance just defensively to save the Leona. And Bro, get out.
Another miracle steal, but there is just too much in the way.
Looking for a bit of a turn here as the Baron down to 6,000. Polo looking to make his way in. The equalizer does calm down. That's the explosion on this Leona. They've taken one down, but the Baron does go over to DRX. There's the flash out from the Lord, though. Flash out from Teddy keeps him safe. Rich is diving on top of him. But it's not really going to help out. Bro, can they find the angle? That is a great charm to connect the extendo beam. Not doing too much, though. And Hype doesn't even really have an opportunity to press the ultimate button. They're taking Hex Gates while Polu's going in. Get Polu back in comms, bro. It's going to crest 10,000 gold pretty quickly here, as DRX will be able to take this one down. That is a very nice solar flare as Closer. He's able to at least limp his way away with the Spirit Rush, but that is now not going to be able to be used offensively. Hextech Soul with Sivir. That's going to be a thing. It's so much of the water going down the pipe.
All right, so now we got 6 super minions about to crash. They're not synced up here, but I mean, Sivir can just kind of throw Qs out.
All right, well, we're ceased and desisted, and Croco's dead. The rest of the Bros, they will get redeemed momentarily, but I don't know whether it's much redemption of anything at all.
Human Nexus, you go into the fountain, you die.
Yeah, Polo goes in as well, and he does also die. Well, as it turns out, you're right on multiple fronts, as now Hype doing his very best to keep himself alive, but oh my god, that is not going to happen, not in this game, as DRX just roll over the top, and the Bros deliver on their promise with aplomb. As they take us to 3 games.
1 game left. It's basically a best-of-1 with a ton of champions removed to decide which one of these teams has a chance to make it all the way to be an LCK champion, or the year ends here. They don't play any more professional games until next year. Insane, the stakes, Atlas.
Oh.
Bard is one of the ones that some players just don't have. And he is going to go to the Maokai instead.
I kind of love this, though. It gives you that very easy, I'm going to press the R button. We did recently see it lose pretty horrifically in our first series today.
Hands, yeah.
But we'll see whether Polu can find some redemption for the tree.
What I like about it is it's budget Renata, basically. Like, they're all melee champions trying to run at you, the Wukong, the Jax, and it's not a hostile takeover, but it's like, stop coming towards me. And also sets up the Jhin aggressively. If you want to use it to control space, you certainly can. You can use it to siege.
Yep. Does allow the shots to line up. That is a very good point.
It's definitely a really high value pick here, actually.
Let's see whether they can make this eclectic composition work as we get into the Rift Game 3. I'm anxious, guys. Oh god.
Like, I'm not trying to overreact, but is Bro gonna win Worlds? Well, like, if they beat DRX right here in this single best of one at the end of this series,
they could win Worlds.
Could win Worlds, yeah.
Wow, we are just straight up trading.
Yeah, no, it's a one-for-one trade.
However, if this next mountain just goes to Bro and they just trade for Herald or something like that, then it kind of does nullify it. And this Yorick in a side lane could be problematic. Hype is now a very long way away. The flash comes in as Andil looking to hold Hype in position. He's just trying to walk his way out, but he cannot do it. It's going to be a little bit difficult for DRX to fight for the next dragon now, perhaps.
No flash, by the way. He might just die here to Wukong ult.
Yep. The Cyclone is going to come in, and Wolf, you may have been onto something, as he is going to go down once again.
It's not an issue that Hype is behind, per se. It's just an issue that Teddy's ahead, if you know what I mean. And Morgan may no longer be ahead.
Yeah, Morgan is not looking to be too far ahead. And in fact, he is dead. And DRX now looking for even more. Croco is going to come in. They will take a plate. That looks to be all they're going to be able to collect, as Rich has to flash out of the way of Croco, who is just going to eat him. All right, this Trundle is a monster. He's going to take a bite out of Sponge as well and says, you can live. Let's see whether the Bros can actually find an inroad, as Polu, level 7, will be able to throw down the ulti, finds the snare onto Sponge, who's taking a fair bit of damage. Warrior Trixie gets him out of there. It is Croco locking up this dragon, but he has to, oh, okay, just eats the monkey. And now Teddy dives on forward. It is going to be a Chemtech Solace. Hype wants to get this damage down close and kills Teddy. Just flash executes him. And there is the keeper's verdict, but the verdict is in. You are dead. Andil, there is nothing you can do about that, as we have a bit of biffo in the top lane, but it's top lane. That's all right. DRX are looking to take down this Rift Herald. It will be secured, as now Croco going to just walk on up, but he's a little late to this party, as they're guarding the eye. DRX haven't been able to lock that one down just yet. And Croco just placing kennels in the area.
And actually now going to go for the turret with reason.
Yeah, what are we doing here? We're not allowed to be here! Oh god, Closer just takes him down. That is going to be first turret going over to the Bros as well.
Sponge here looking for Closer.
Yeah, he's going to get dove on as Polu just a little late to the party. The Realm Warp not going to work out. The Bramble Smash looked kind of cool. Kennel placement, great. But unfortunately, the tree is still dead. And the vibes,
just like that, Atlas.
Yep. That's what a pendulum does.
I'm so back.
Bro have started off this Drake, but in comes Sponge with that Mega Cone. Closer looking for Yehu on an angle, and the Bros have so much vision control. It is absolutely insane. There is still a ward in here, but Sponge, can you win this 50-50? His keeper's verdict is in, and the verdict is goodbye, Mr. Trundle. And now we got a Rune Prison. The curtains have been called, and this monkey is not long for the world. Down he will go, does get a fair bit of work done. But the sacrifice is monkey for dragon. They are going to spot him, as Teddy does find out, but that is just information that it is going to go down that they would have got anyway.
Okay, we're going to see a collapse on Morgan.
Flash in onto Morgan. Can he stick around? Oh my god, gets so much health back. Everyone turns up as the jump scare comes in. They might be able to just take down this turret. They may need to, as Croco's going to walk in. Puts a kennel on top of Sponge. He's got to fight off to the side as the keeper's verdict does get rid of the Yorick. And now Rich is just trying to run away. Finally, the Trundle takes down the monkey, but the flash in from Morgan will get denied by Rich. Andil doesn't have the same level of safety, though.
They're gonna
and Yahoo is chilling out in the top lane. It's him and Croco, but honestly, I do feel like they're both the kingpins.
Yeah.
If your AD carry is like struggling moving up too far, which Hype is currently maybe doing. No, never mind. There is a Maiden and a Yorick in front of him, as another inner turret is going to fall down.
Don't want a side lane? No, just with this comp 5-man it.
Yeah, but what I was going to say is like the Jhin just stands a billion miles away and you're at no risk. You just fire the shots.
Or?
There does need to be a teleport to come in, as Croco is just going to walk on over and eat the dragon from 200 health.
What am I watching here?
Well, what
you started the Baron? He doesn't have TP, and you were on the top side with more members. Second World Championship possibilities might be fading before your eyes.
Exactly.
As this is just a dead Baron. They got the ult followed to zone him away. There's no way.
They just walk up to the dragon, take the dragon, and then their master plan is walk up to the Baron and take the Baron. They need to break out of this Britnetism, man, as Keeper's Verdict is going to get rid of the Yorick, and now Closer goes golden. Can they buy enough time? That's the question, as the nature is grasping, but perhaps it is grasping at straws. As Rich goes golden, he gets punched back though. Polu holding them at bay as Rich is flashing, but so is Croco, and he dives in. Give your tribute to the king as he goes down. Morgan flashes away though. Finally, they take down the Yorick. This is an absolute disaster here on both sides, but it's the bros that thrive in moments like this.
Yahoo.
Hype, you thrive in moments like this, by the way.
Yahoo's going to try to get a back off here, so they cannot take out these Nexus turrets. I mean, there is a wave at Baron.
Hang on, just stop the backs. Never mind. Polo is dead. And now it's Hype versus Yahoo.
He gets one Nexus turret, and then he's out. He's out of there. That's all I can't end the game. I'm just a lowly Jhin. I'm just a Jhin. Can only shoot 4 times. I think this is likely the fight that decides the game, as Rich is going to get caught.
Yep, there's the Realm Warp. He's already used the Leap Strike. As Closer look, he's just lumbering towards him very slowly. But Hype is just going to follow the minion wave. All right, DRX, you can have a 3rd dragon, because we're just going to win the game. Yep. Okay, bro. I mean, that's their name for a reason. It's just, okay, bro, just win, I guess. As in goes Rich, taking a fair bit of damage. There's the Keeper's Verdict being channeled, but that is just going to go on a little bit of a cooldown.
Sponge decides not to recall because he wants to take Dragon, but he knows they're collapsing towards him, so...
Bit of decision paralysis.
He could try to actually find an angle here with the Cyclone if they can follow up, but there's a mid-wave pushing through, and I just don't think there's any way DRX can collapse the way they'd like to. Sponge tries for it, though. Sponge?
He's just going to walk on up.
Wants a Smite steal.
Well, let's see what he can do here, as, he just can't. Polo, with the Nature's Grasp, it is just so easy to confirm these neutrals. Look at this Ghoulie army, though, that Morgan does have trailing after him. The Baron up and available. That is going to be where the battle lines are drawn. There is the Cyclone engage, but Polu finds Teddy. Sponge taking a lot of damage, but Closer is going to be the first to go down. Andal gets a heroic charge, and it is absolute heroism as Hype does find the fadeaway shot onto the jungler, and Croco's alive, but unfortunately, the rest of his team is dead. It's a triple for Rich. My perfect predictions.
Oh, Croco, you said he wasn't gonna die.
Wait, can Croco just walk up and eat the Nexus?
You said he wasn't gonna die.
If he eats the Nexus, they win.
He wants to, but they are gonna come back and defend. But that means they don't get Baron.
All right,
Croco.
Can you get out? Croco, that's the... well, he flashes. He will have his speedy, fast, walkie ground. There it is. He can put down a pillar. He's out.
Rich
gets
smote.
Oh, will have Leap Strike up again, so they manage to hold down. Oh, he gets to press R, and it's not enough. Teddy locks it down, and then DRX managed to take the Baron.
This game is still on. Like the rest of the...
I mean, the pendulum do be swinging back.
No, it's
for the next battle. The Elder up in 5 seconds time.
DRX just want to take the fight off the Elder. Look at the split here for DRX. Sponge has his GA, of course, still.
Sponge is not really the guy that wants to be away from the Elder Pit, though. And he is going to get slowed down by the Morning Mist. There is the flash having to be employed. Keeper's Verdict is in. That gets rid of the Maokai. But Bro can now disengage. And with the Keeper's Verdict on cooldown, it's a real rough time as the Maiden trying to run away, and she will be able to get out of there.
So many tools used for Bro here that they don't have for the fight anymore, and I think that's probably going to be the go button here for DRX. They can use this Honeyford to heal up and head straight to the Elder Dragon itself. Yahoo on a flank, perhaps caught.
I mean, he's just going to get chomped by Croco. Walks towards him, Redemption comes down, and now the Elder has been started.
Okay, here we go. This is it.
Yep,
For everything.
Oh, it has to be a 50-50. Come on, junglers, both of you in the pit. Mano a mano. As Yahoo is just going to pop like a balloon. The grenade is dancing around the fight, but Closer is going to go down as well. Both mid laners are dead. It's an absolute melee. A bloodbath, but Rich getting in on top of them. The GA's going to work, but Teddy is dead. And Morgan is just smacking them with a shovel. The shovel of the monster. And Sponge is going to be the last man standing, but that monkey is going to be put in the ground, and the pros will do it!
And Hype, 10,000 damage in the fight. Who says Yorick can't team fight? It's not Morgan, as they are going to win it. They are going to go to play-ins here, and Bro saved the year on an Elder fight in a 45-minute game to close out the 5th and final Game 3 between these two teams. Bro have done it.
Yeah. A little bit of sheepishness there from this Jhin player who had a rough start to the game. It was Croco. Flash bite.
Croco had an insane performance today. He was able to do 10,000 damage in the final fight, and Teddy played it super well. I thought for
sure somewhere there is some Gen G players just that little bit more nervous.
Look at that. Look at Hype there in the middle of the booth as well, or Hambach, sorry, in the middle of the booth.
Yeah.
He could be a world champion.
He could.
And,
he absolutely could.
Edgar and Umpty watching on as Bros clutch it.
Oh, for the absolute cinema that this was.
And of course, Chronicler, who was a Bro predator.
And they were
sat on the DRX side, who cares about predictions so much as a year as well.
They were also down 3,000 gold at the end of that game, as Croco is obviously going to pick up the POM. 2-0-21 on the Jarvan is enough to get it by itself, but he was also an absolutely immortal Troll King in that last game.
Yeah, it wasn't an easy vote. And ultimately, Atlas, Valdez, and Chronicler who voted for Bro in this.
Power to the play-by-plays. I don't know how many. I could definitely count on a couple of fingers the amount of perfect weeks that I've had as far as predictions are concerned. This is a big moment for me.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Dear for the full team interview for the season finale for 2025 regular season. We will do the interview with both sides. We will start with OK Savings Bank Brion. Please welcome Morgan, Croco, Hambach, Closer, Hype, and Palu. What a feisty match. Let's talk to Morgan first. With that last match of the season victory, you clinched the play-ins. After the whole slugfest, how did it feel to destroy the Nexus at the very end? I feel like we were stuck in a chains of losses in round 5 especially, but I think it feels amazing to be able to stay in our game and make sure that we're able to finish off strong with a victory. And in Game 1, you said Ambessa is feeling great today, and we actually finally got your first Ambessa win. With not much good memories with Ambessa, were you concerned about it at all? Of course, I'd be lying if I said that I wasn't concerned at all, but this was just something that I was responsible to do, so I actually just went ahead and said, I will do it, I'll take this role, and I'm just really glad that my teammates were able to set me up. Well, big congrats. And did you know that there are a lot of familiar faces cheering for you on site? Perhaps you felt the buff. Your past head coach Edgar and Umpty are on site. Did you feel the buff? You know, actually, when we were doing our greetings, I actually saw them and I said hello. And when I saw their face, it actually helped me calm my nerves down. So I was laughing and I had a good time. Any message over to them? I did not expect to see you guys. I'm just so grateful that you were able to cheer for me here on site. And Croco, from round 2, you joined the Bros to make it to the play-ins. How does this season feel? You know, there are just so many regretful parts looking back. But you know, we won our last match, which feels amazing. And you even got a POM today because of your amazing performance. And you know how elimination matches are just so terrifying. So to do well, what did you focus on? After our recent loss, and we came all together to discuss as a team to figure out what is really the reason why we keep losing on stage. And then we try to supplement a lot of those things and then try to make sure that we're able to refine everything that we need to work on until today. You know, the back and forth was just simply a nail biter. And you were stranded alone to hit the Nexus and died at one point. So how did you feel in that moment? You know, when we all died in front of Baron and I was the only survivor? You know, I thought that maybe if I can just pull the Jax and Aurora, I might be able to win. But because I died, it went pretty dicey. But in the end, I think my teammates were the ones who actually carried me to the end. So thanks to them, I owe it all to them, really. And there is Prince watching you from the analyst desk. So do you want to say anything to Prince? No, nothing. No comment. I'll give you another chance. Really? Nothing? You know, yesterday while I was preparing for the match, I actually had a call with him. And he was asking, you know, you don't really look okay. Are you feeling fine? And I think he's always been silently trying to take care of me and look after me and make sure that I'm feeling okay mentally. So I'm really grateful for him. And next up, we have Hanbak. You were part of round 1 of the regular season. How will you remember this regular season? You know, I was always watching Coco play, and I would always think about my own skills. And just watching the team's performance as a third person's perspective, I just always thought about what we can do as a team to improve and do better. You know, while you were watching the match from the booth, how are you feeling emotionally? You know, the staff, the coaching staff, they all were really scared that we would get swept. And I just kept telling them, you know, honestly, there's no way we lose. And the moment that we were able to win the team fight at the very end, I just told them, I told you so. And any message to your fans? I want to make sure that I can get to the top of my form and always run after my success so that I can show you guys a good performance. Thank you so much for your support. And closer, this was your first regular season with the Bros. How do you feel? You know, it was just such an intense match till the very end, but I'm so glad that we were able to win today. And the play-ins was on the line, which could have been quite daunting. So what was the mindset coming in today? You know, I just thought that it would be a life or death kind of a thing. And that was my main mindset today. You know, as the heart of OK Savings and Brian, you have delivered in key moments. And, you know, there are so many fans, some of them even tearing up after seeing your performance. So, what are you most proud of during this regular season? I think during the regular season, just being able to stay on the same page as my teammates, although we had our shortcomings towards the very end, I think I can definitely tell that we saw a lot of growth, just being able to stay together as a team and just building our synergy. And what is your mindset going into the play-ins? we'll be against Nongshim, and Calix is doing really well. It's just something that, I think Calix always says that he has to overcome me, and I'll just do my best to be that huge wall that he can't overcome. And let's shift over to Hype. Because Jin was able to survive at the very end, the last team fight, we were able to see you win. How do you feel? This is my first LCK plans, which feels so refreshing and so nice. And I feel like this is my best moment in my professional career. You joined as a lone player and built synergy over time. So did you face any difficulties? Because I was playing alongside new people, it wasn't always easy. But over time, we would communicate, we would try to build our synergy and chemistry. And what kind of performance would you like to show in the plans? So far, I don't think I have been performing to my standards, but I want to make sure that I can pull off some meticulous gameplays. Lastly, let's talk to Polu. This regular season is officially over. How do you feel? Being able to get this dopamine rush on the last match of the season, it feels great. I hope that I can carry this momentum over. And since the call-up last year, you have been on fire in the LCK. So what was your goal last year, and how close did you get to that goal? I think even last year, I really wanted to make it to the playoffs. And right now, my teammates are just doing so well. So if we were able to make it to the playoffs, I feel like we can go even higher. So I think that's really my goal. So what would you like to say to your teammates then? My bros, they've been doing so well for me, and it actually puts off a lot of pressure from me. So I'm just really grateful for all of them. And let's go back to Morgan, the team captain. Any message over to your fans? Until the very end of the regular season, we went through a lot of struggles. But you guys entrusted your faith in us, and we just want to repay all of your support with a great performance. Thank you again. Let's give it up for OK Savings Bank Brian. Congratulations on your win. Now that is the end of the season and full team interview with OK Savings Bank Rayon. And now we will have DRX on the stage for the next interview. We have DRX on the stage. Please welcome Rich, Sponge, Yehu, Teddy, and Andel. Hello. Rich, you have completed the 2025 season. How do you feel? This season was just full of regrets. Yeah, just very unfortunate. What a bummer. What do you think is the key takeaway from this season? I haven't really put much thought into this, something like that, but I think after returning to the LCK after some time, I think I just learned how to stay diligent. So what are your goals for the future? I think I want to keep on playing as a pro player as long as I can. And I really want to make it to Worlds at least once in my lifetime. Next up, let's talk to Sponge. You took your first step into the LCK last year. How does it feel to wrap another season with DRX? There's a lot of regrets regarding our results, but within the process, I did learn a lot, and I feel like personally, individually, we did grow as a team, and I feel the growth. And compared to last year and this year, how have you grown? I think the in-game skill sets and just managing my nerves on stage and maintaining a good mental fortitude. I think those are some of the things that I was able to develop as a pro player. There are so many fans who are here to support you, so any message over to them? You know, despite the regretful results, I'm just really grateful for all the fans for the unconditional support. And next season, I want to repay you with a better result. Next up, Yehu. After getting called up in round 2, you really went off. Now that the regular season is over, how do you feel looking back? I feel like we really should have closed it out strong this season, but I'm just really ashamed that we couldn't do that. So what are some personal takeaways? I think I have grown a lot mentally and learned a lot in game as well. And so how do you want to show up in the future? You know, this year in particular, I want to make sure that I minimize all the things that I was lacking this year and show up better next year. And on the fan side, there's a fan that says that even next year that they will cheer you on. And next, Teddy, how do you feel to finish the season? You know, today's loss is quite a bummer, but we made it all the way to the end with my teammates. Honestly, I had fun, you guys. Actually, you reached some personal milestones today. You reached 2,500 LCK kills and 700 games. So as a veteran, how will you remember this season? You know, as a team, the season allowed us to grow. And I think we have matured and grown so much mentally as a team. And please take this moment to do a shout out to your teammates. You know, good work, you guys. And thank you so much for not giving up until the very end. So let's keep doing well, fighting. And lastly, Andel. You know, since the standings were so uncertain until the very end, it must have been pretty scary. So what was on your mind on the way to the stage today? You know, the only thing on my mind was to win. So was there anything that might be most memorable this season? Nothing in particular, but I think I tried to enjoy this season as much as I can, and you know, I tried so hard. And it's tough, but you'll have to look ahead to next year. What goals do you have? I hope I'm just going to keep on trying to make sure that I am a good support, that I develop into a better support that everyone thinks that is great. And now, the team captain, Teddy, will share a message to the fans. Despite the lackluster results, I just really am grateful that you guys are always supportive. And I hope that we can come back stronger next year. Thank you so much. Fighting, everyone. Thank you so much for your hard work until the very end, everyone. Thank you. And that's the end of the team interview with DRX, and back to the space. Thank you.